everyone's Tee Becoate, and we're back with another Diamond Cut Media interview. Still out in Brooklyn today, and we have Finesi kicking it with us on his birthday, my God. Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate you.
Happy birthday, Finesi. Kicking it with Diamond Cut Media today. Let people know a little bit about who you are, where you're from.
All right. As you already said, my name is Finesi. I'm a Nigerian kid born in St. Louis, Missouri. I lived there until I was about 10 before I moved to Houston. Then I went to Cornell for about a year, and then that's my first time ever coming out to New York. And then after that, I just ended up moving out here because I'm trying to chase this music for real.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to chasing your dreams. So, Finesi, you bounce around a few places, but you can say you started in America here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So tell people about growing up in St. Louis.
I'm not gonna lie, growing up in St. Louis felt like the show Cheers. Like, you know that show? It's like, sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. That's how it felt like in St. Louis. Like, everybody know everybody because it's like so small. And like the black community is like so small as well. So I remember finding out that we were moving to Houston. I cried like every day. Like, St. Louis was fun to me, remembering as a kid. Like, I had a great time in St. Louis. We had the Six Flags we used to go to. Like, I used to do these like reading book championships, and whoever read the most books would get a free ticket to Six Flags. And every year I got one, but my mom only took me like one time because she'd be working a lot. Yeah. But nah, St. Louis was a great time. I didn't realize how bad it was till I got older, for real. And I guess my mom did a good job of keeping me out of that too. Like, she always put me in like private school. Like, she didn't let me go to school with any of the other kids in our area. So
shout out to mom. So St. Louis is as bad as people like say it, because people describe St. Louis like one of the worst cities. So it's really like that.
Yeah, it is really like that for sure. But I feel like at the same time, it's a blessing. I was just blessed to not be a part of that. But I know a lot of my family members that were out there too. They didn't go through that. But I was just blessed to get out there at a good time.
Right. Yeah. And St. Louis has the art, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You ever got to see it?
Hell yeah, all the time. We used to go to Busch Stadium, all of that. Yeah, had a great time in St. Louis.
That's fire. I want to ask you, what's in the water in St. Louis, man? Y'all got a lot of artists. Like, St. Louis is popping. Like, we were kind of talking about it before we started the interview. Y'all got Sexy Red, Jordan Ward.
Yeah.
I think who Ryan
Trey.
Ryan Trey, yourself. Like,
yeah.
And then if you even want to go athletes, y'all got Bradley Bills from there, Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on in St.
I'm
Louis?
not gonna lie. Everybody from St. Louis can attest to this. Like, everybody from there hella competitive. Like, you could meet a nigga in St. Louis and be like, yo, you want to race? That nigga, like, what's up, nigga? Like, we finna bust down and race real quick. Like, we just really competitive. And I feel like it's about time that we've been getting that shine, And it's only going to get even bigger as people, like, keep honing their craft and coming up, too. So, yeah, definitely.
Right, that's what's up, man. And I want to ask you, too, when you moved from St. Louis, you say you moved to Houston.
Yeah.
It's also another city that's, like, super buzzing with talent.
Yeah.
So how was that transition going from St. Louis to Houston?
It was rough. The first year, like, I remember I cried every single day. It was rough. Because Houston is so big, bruh. I've never been anywhere like that before. I was expecting to see a whole bunch of cowboys and shit, but it was nothing like that. It's probably the most diverse place I've ever been. That was my first time ever seeing an Asian person, bruh.
Where was in Houston?
Yeah. Well, I'm capping, because in St. Louis, the only time you could see an Asian person is if you went to the Chinaman. We got the best Chinese food in St. Louis, too.
Jeez.
Argue with your mom about that.
Now, you in New York City saying that, so that's a statement.
It's, bro, for sure. That's a fact. Ask anybody. Ask my friends. I went to St. Louis last year. I brought Chinese food for them. They was like, yeah, y'all got it. I was like, I know. I'm knowing. For sure. But yeah, like, Houston was like a culture shock. Like, in my whole school, in my whole life in St. Louis, I only seen one Mexican. For real. And then I come to Houston, it's like Mexicans, Asians. I didn't even know there was different types of Asians. Like Vietnamese, Filipino, Chinese still too. Like, I never seen any of that. So it was a big like culture shock. But I'm glad I went to Houston though. Like, overall, looking back at it, I needed that.
Sure. Fine. And in between that, you also went to Nigeria for a year, correct?
Yeah, for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
That was rough too. I think I cried every day before that went to, because the way I got left, bruh, my mom was like, oh, we going on vacation. I was like 8 when this happened. She was like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. what day we come back? She's like, August 17th. I was like, cool. And that's when the High School Musical 2 was coming out at that time. So I was like, bet I'm going to be back and I'm going to be able to watch High School Musical. And then my mom just left me. She didn't even say bye, nothing. She was just gone. And they lied to me for a whole week. They're like, oh, she went to the store. She went to the store. I'm like, dang, I'm missing her every time before I even wake up. Then one day, I just called my stepdad, and he was like, oh, if you're looking for your mom, she's right here. I was like, what you talking about? She went to the store. He's like, nah, bro, she in America. I lost it. I ain't eat for like 3 days.
Word.
Yeah, I was sick as hell.
And why'd you, if you could share, why did you like get sent back to Nigeria?
So everybody got this common misconception that if you get sent to Nigeria, it's because you was being bad. I was not being bad. It was just rough for my mom to take care of me at the time. Like my mom was trying to go back to school. She was working like 3 jobs. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up home alone for real. Like I grew up like an only child. Like I didn't have no siblings around at the time, so it was just me in the crib by myself. My mom even was telling me the other day. She was like, she used to leave me home alone from like 6 months. She just come back like every 3 hours to come feed me and shit. And she was like, you were a good kid for that. I'm like, damn, you was neglecting me for real. Right. But thank God, I think I turned out pretty straight. Yeah.
That's what's up. And then I was gonna say we didn't get to like tell the people you are actually Nigerian.
Yeah.
So they, get a little background to
you. I'm Nigerian. My mom is from Delta State. My dad from Edo State. Yeah, shout out to Benny. That's where I got sent to. I got sent to Benin City. That's where I was at. But that was a great time. I wouldn't change anything about it. Like, I realized that's where I knew who I really was, where I'm from. And I really got immersed in the culture. Like, I was in the streets for real out there, for real. Playing soccer with bottles, making soccer balls with a whole bunch of paper, and then you tape it up, play soccer. Getting whooped at school by the teacher with the cans. I went through all of that.
That's what's up. You were able to like find your tribe too, like where you're really from. Too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fire. Can you tell the people about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. So Edo State, aka known as the heartbeat of Nigeria. So interesting fact. So when the British came to colonize Nigeria, they came straight to us. Like they came through us to colonize. So yeah, we got an Oba, we got a king. So Oba means king as well. And St. Louis, I said St. Louis. Benin City is a great place. Like, a lot of culture. We also known for bats. We got hella bats out there.
Like bats?
Yeah, bats.
I'm terrified of bats. I've never seen a bat, but I don't want to ever see a bat.
If you go to, like, whether the market areas around Ring Road, you can see hella bats. Like, hella bats. I remember I used to go there with my grandma when I was a kid and go, like, buy meat and stuff. But, yeah, I used to see all the bats. Buy a catapult, try to shoot them down.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so I want you to tell us funny stories watching one of your interviews about your babysitter, how she got you into music.
Oh, yeah. So I went to a real ghetto-ass daycare growing up. Shout out to Auntie Tawana. Like, it felt like they were my family for real. Like, my mom would leave me there for days. Like, I never heard of no daycare where niggas, like, spend a night consistently like that. I'd dead spend the night at her house. And she treated me like her own kids. I'm not gonna lie. She used to whoop my ass too, just like she would whoop her kids. So on Sunday mornings, she would put on Luther Vandross and be like, "Oh shit, that means we've been to start cleaning her house all damn day." So that's when I started hearing like "Apologize," "Superstar," and that really like changed like my perspective on music. Like my mom was already putting me on to shit as well. To my mom would play like "Cool in the Gang." She always used to play "Ladies Night" for me. What's that other song they got to when it's like, so how you wanna do if you really don't want to dance by standing on the wall? Get your back up off the wall.
Damn, I know the song. Get Down on It.
Yeah, Get Down on It. Yeah,
so classics.
Facts. And my mom would love Michael Jackson like crazy. I remember when Michael Jackson died, my mom was bawling. I was like, damn, did your dad die? But nah, this is Michael Jackson. But yeah, so that's really how like my mom loves. The funny thing about my mom is she loved music for real. Her whole family loved music. So I was like, why are you surprised that I want to make music then?
Well, I was gonna say, is that like that's just like a talent you got from, you would say, your mom and your mom's side of the family?
The funny thing is, my mom can't even sing for shit. I don't even know if anybody in my family could sing. Actually, I got a cousin, she can sing real good. But my mom was just a good dancer. Like all her siblings, they used to make us dance battle for money as a kid. So you know, you got to learn a couple of 2-steps real quick so you get that cash. Right. Yeah.
All right, so you're growing up, you're hearing this soul music. When did you want to start, like, making music? Or when did you first even realize you could sing?
My cousin. So it's funny. So when I got sent to Nigeria the first time, my cousins, they were older than me, like a few years, like 5, 6 years older than me. So they was having girlfriends and shit. So they'd be like calling their girlfriends like 12 a.m. middle night. And she's like, "Baby, I'm about to sing for you," and they hand me the phone. And I'd be singing "Kiss You Through the Phone," and the girl be like, "Oh my gosh, that's not you. You can sing." And you're like, "Nah, it's me. You know, it's me." So that's when I was like really gassed. I was like, "I can sing for real." Yeah, but I wouldn't even call myself a singer or a rapper, just an artist for real. Because it's just like I feel like my strongest suit in making music is my pen. Like what I write is like really thought out, and I just think I'm a genius. I can't even cap. Not to toot my own horn, but my wordplay is just like that for real. Especially like when I'm incorporating like pidgin English, even other languages. Sometimes like when I went to Mexico, I started incorporating some songs with Spanish. When I went to Brazil, started putting some Portuguese in there too. So yeah.
Fire. And let the people know what pidgin is, because you were breaking it down for me a little earlier. Like pidgin is a language that's spoken.
So pidgin, like in simpler terms, is just broken English. It's kind of like patois, but it's like the African version of it, if that makes sense. So like, let's say if I wanted to say like, "What's up?" I'd be like, "How far?" Like in pidgin, it literally, if you were to write it down, it literally be "How far," but it's translated as like "What's up? What's going on?" Like that.
Fire,
Yeah.
fire.
And how I would respond would be like, "I did," which is literally like IDEY, and it literally spelled like that, and I just mean like I'm cool, like I'm here, yeah. So I feel like it's real similar to even like how Haitian people speak Pidgin Creole as well too, and other Caribbeans do as well too with patois and their own form of broken English. That's why I'm like, bruh, I'd be like everybody from Africa, bro, like for real. That's just how I feel in a way.
The FBA gonna come after you, saying everybody from Africa. But next topic. So when did you like? Where were you when you was making music? You was in Houston with it.
So first time was in Ithaca with my friends. It's funny. One of them actually.
Hold on, don't guys. How did you get to Ithaca? Because you went to a prestigious school that's in Ithaca, so you gotta let the people know that.
All right, so when I got into Cornell my freshman year, and I thought, oh, I'm going to New York. I'm finna be in New York City, or maybe I'm probably like 30 minutes away. Hell no, I'm like 6 hours away from that bitch. The closest like major city was Syracuse. I was like, damn. So there's not shit to do out there. That shit a ghost town. Like they got one McDonald's in that bitch, one Walmart, and so like I feel like everybody that became your friend at that time, like y'all was locked in for life because we all struggling together as some young kids in the middle of nowhere. So we just be bored, just finding shit to do. So one of my friends, Justin, he actually makes some of the beats for me now. He would be recording on his laptop, and everybody would be wanting to rap, but he'd be like, "The only way you can rap is if you got a hard rap name." So then I remember one time I saw them doing, I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to be on." So he like, "What's your rap name?" And I was like, "Finesi." He was like, "Okay, that shit hard. You can be on the song." So that's how it started as a joke for real. And then they just kept wanting to make trap songs. I'm like, damn, nigga, y'all don't want to make something different? Especially, like, I'm new to New York, so I'm just learning about, like, dance hall music and shit, like, wind-ups and shit. I love that shit. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm like, why don't we make, like, some dance hall shit like that? And they're like, nah, bro, we don't got time for that. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. Mm-hmm. And I remember doing it, and I was, like, expecting, like, it to be funny and shit. But they're like, nah, this shit actually hard, bro. You should make music for real. And I feel like that's the dream I always had since I was a kid anyway. So it just came back to me. And that's how I got back into it.
Alright, so in college, that's when you started recording.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first song you put out?
Yeah, the first song I put out was Addy. It's called Addy. That's still one of my favorite songs I made for real.
What about that song stands out?
The beat for sure. Like, it's like a build up. That was my favorite part about it because it's just like I'm really like talking shit on there too. Like it's funny. That song is about when I lost my virginity in college, and it's like how I took an Uber to her crib. Like that's why I was like, send me to Addy. Like you said, it's nothing more than sex. Last time I checked, like that was real because I lost my virginity to a friend. It wasn't even like a real relationship or nothing like that. I wish it meant more, but fuck it.
So you're really vulnerable in your music.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a lover.
You lover boy.
Something like that.
All right, bro. I seen you described your music as rock, Afro, funk, and blues all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Why all those genres in one?
Because I like to call myself like a genre bender. And just what I grew up listening to, like, I always, like, it's funny. I used to play songs around my cousins and be like, bro, this shit ass, turn this shit. I was like, it's because y'all ears not open yet. But when y'all ears open, y'all understand it. Like, I used to play Burna Boy for them in like 2011. They'd be like, nah, bro, this not it. I'd be like, all right, watch. And now, look, everybody listens to Burna Boy. So I feel like my ears just open to everything. Like, I like country music, jazz, classical, ballet, funk, samba music, all of that. Haitian music, combo music, Afro beats, of course, R&B, alternative music, especially. Like, I would say my music could be just classified as world music. Like, anybody, it's meant for everyone.
How is your performance style like? Because I know you say you're a lover boy, so you're gonna be, in the crowd jumping in, singing to the lady on some Usher shit, or you just gonna be laid back, chilling?
So I'm a gentleman, so I'm not gonna do too much. I'm gonna sing to him for sure. I want my shows to be real interactive too. So you're gonna see me talking a lot too, talking with the crowd, and just getting their energy, getting them to feel me for real. That's the most important thing to me, to be felt.
Okay, fire. And then in terms of body of work, are you working on anything now?
Yeah, just been working on some singles, but next year, be on the lookout. Album coming.
The album.
Yeah.
Would that be a debut album? Or do you count your
Debut.
projects before as albums?
Nah. So my last project is called Displays of Funk and Madness.
Listen to that. I love the sounds on it, bro.
Yeah, it's a whole mix of different shit, and that's really what my mind be on, which is why I'm like, this is my madness. And I love that EP just because it's like it showed all the different aspects of me, and it was me finding the kind of music I want to make. Because at first I wasn't sure if I want to make Afro beats, if I want to make R&B. Like, I was just trying to find my lane until I realized like I'm just a genre bender, and finally found my sound, and I relate to Crash Out the most because I feel like that was like the forefront of that, which is why I put that song last, because it's just like, this is Finesi, and that's what y'all are gonna get in the future. So you're gonna see more sounds like that for sure. And summer's here too. I might drop couple Afrobeat singles because it gets hot outside and you want to dance too. So that's all I'm for.
Fire. I want to ask you, as an artist, how do y'all distinguish like what's a EP? Well, obviously you do like track length for EP and mixtape,
Mm-hmm.
but like, how do you separate? Oh, this is a mixtape. This is a EP. This is my album. How do you separate that?
For me, I would say the cohesiveness personally, like, which is why I call Displays of Funk and Madness an EP, because it's all over the place, but that was the whole concept of it. It was supposed to be all over the place because that's really how I be living my life. Like, I feel like I be living a double life with my corporate life and making music. So it's just all different sides of me and what's in my head. And you know what they say, name a genius that ain't crazy. Shout out to Kanye. I'm not that crazy though.
It's funny you say that though, like kind of living a double life, because I feel like when you're a creative, you got to work your job, whether it's 9 to 5, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a double life because you got to do what you got to do to get money, but you also who you are outside of work.
For sure.
And sometimes you can merge both worlds, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
So it's like that is a true statement. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you right now, you say you're an artist, not just R&B and rap.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 artists all time that are alive.
Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Kanye. Damn.
2 more.
Stevie Wonder.
Shout out to the OG.
Damn.
We got 1 more.
I got 1 more. I'm gonna put a rapper. I already got a rapper in there too. I got a couple rappers. Dang, you putting me on the spot. I'm gonna go Nelly.
Because he's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
You gotta show love to the
show
crib.
love to St. Louis. Yeah.
Okay, dope. That's what's up. All right, Finesi, let the people know, where they can get your music, where they can follow you on socials, all that good stuff.
All right, you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud at Finesi. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at ManLikeNessie. It's pretty simple. 1 S, 1 I, Just think of finesse and remove 1 S and remove the E at the end and add an I. Finesse. So yeah, keep streaming my music. Crash Out, that's my biggest song right now, so go fuck with that. I know y'all can relate. Everybody crash out.
All right, Facts. But yo, Finesi, appreciate you kicking it with us on your birthday, man. Happy birthday again to Finesi.
Yeah, we going up
Show tonight in Brooklyn. Diamond Cut Media. We out here.
Show.